What is up, Broncos fans? The Denver Broncos Show back again, here to do another video. In this video, I'll be talking about the Broncos' 24-17 win over the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday in Denver. Big win for us, good win for us, but definitely a game that we could have played a lot better in. Obviously, it's important that we got the win. We moved to 2-0 on the year. And you love seeing that 2-0 at home as well. We get a big win in the division against a division rival in the Chiefs. It's always great to beat them, and it's great to be 1-0 in the AFC West. But man, this was a pretty subpar performance for the Denver Broncos. We definitely didn't play all that well. I thought Kansas City pretty much controlled most of the game, but we made 2-3 big plays there in the second half to help us seal the win. Looking at some of the good things we did here in this game, I thought our blocking once again was pretty good. I thought our pass protection was really good here against Kansas City's defense. Did a good job protecting Peyton Manning last week against the Colts, and that definitely carried over here in week 2 against the Chiefs. Only gave up 1 sack. Definitely gave Peyton Manning plenty of time to read the Chiefs' defense and make some throws down the field. And I thought our run blocking was a lot better here in this game against the Kansas City Chiefs. We didn't really do a good job of that in the game against the Colts. I thought our offensive line was pretty terrible in the run blocking, but it was a lot better here against the Chiefs. We averaged 4 yards per carry here against the Chiefs' defense. Monty Ball played well. He had 12 carries for 60 yards, averaged 5 yards per carry himself. He also had 3 catches for 29 yards, made an impact in the passing game. But it really started with our offensive line blocking up front, and really was our interior offensive line here in this game that made a difference with our blocking, and that really starts with Manny Ramirez and Luis Vasquez. I thought both those guys played great here in this game, anchored us in the passing game with our pass protection, and then did a great job of kind of setting the tone from a physicality standpoint for us in the run blocking, and did a great job of giving Monty Ball some gaps to run through. And Monty Ball had a great run there on 3rd and 24 in the second half, got 23 yards on that, got it to 4th and 1 on the halfback draw, and then on 4th and 1 made a physical run to get us that conversion and keep the drive alive. And did a great job in this game of running in between the tackles, definitely getting some yards after contact, and just running more physically. I like what I saw out of Monty Ball, and again, I like what I saw out of our offensive line blocking-wise. Did a good job blocking up front, protecting Peyton Manning, and giving Monty Ball and C.J. Anderson some good gaps to run through. Peyton Manning, once again, was phenomenal. He played great against the Chiefs defense. He goes 21 of 26 here for 242 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Once again, did a great job protecting the ball, making smart throws, not turning it over. 3 receivers in this game had 4 catches or more. Again, Peyton Manning doing a great job at distributing the ball around here, keeping the Chiefs defense guessing. And his touchdown throws to Julius Thomas and Demaryius Thomas there in that first half were just beautiful, brilliant throws by Peyton Manning. Great ball location on both those throws, pretty much putting the ball only where Demaryius and Julius were going to catch it. And again, played really well, made some throws down the field. Our offensive line did a great job of giving him some time to make some throws, and he was great here in this game once again. And again, no interceptions. You love seeing that. Great job by Peyton Manning of making smart throws all game long. And once again, our defense made some stops when they needed to here against the Chiefs. They didn't really play all that well. But like they did against the Colts, they made plays to help us seal the game there in that second half. The Chiefs had a big 19-play drive there in the second half, and our defense did a good job of finally getting them off the field on 3rd down, forcing them to attempt a field goal. They missed the field goal. That was obviously a huge momentum booster for us. And then the Chiefs had an 11-play drive there to end the game, and our defense did a great job forcing them to turn the ball over on downs. Terrence Knighton swatting down Alex Smith's pass there in the red zone was huge. And again, our defense bended, but it didn't break like in the Colts game. Made plays when they needed to, and definitely helped us seal the win there in the second half. We don't win this game without our defense once again here against the Chiefs. And our red zone defense was phenomenal. Did a great job last week at containing the Colts in the red zone. Did that once again here against the Chiefs. The Chiefs were 2 of 4 in the red zone. Our defense once again showing that as the field gets shorter, it's going to be harder for the offense to score on us, and we get better as the field gets shorter. And the less space the offense has, the better for our defense. So they played really well. And again, they gave up some big plays. They weren't that great on 3rd down. But man, they made some plays when we needed them to. And like last week, there was just multiple defensive players that made big plays and made big contributions in this game to help us seal another win. Obviously, Terrence Knighton finished this game with 2 tackles, and he had 2 big pass deflections here in this game. Obviously, the one in the 4th quarter on 4th down, blocking Alex Smith's pass to seal the game. And I thought Terrence Knighton was huge against the run here against the Chiefs. It seemed like when he was in there, the Chiefs struggled to run the ball. When we rotated him out and brought Marvin Austin or Sylvester Williams in, they kind of took advantage of that. Von Miller played a lot better. He had 7 tackles, had a sack here in this game. You like seeing that. Definitely was more active here in week 2 than week 1. Like seeing him get on the board with the sack, and did a good job of consistently pressuring Alex Smith throughout this game. And I can't say enough about the job Aqib Talib did on Dwayne Bowe here in this game. Dwayne Bowe had 3 catches for 40 yards. Aqib Talib did a great job of containing him in this game, really forcing Alex Smith to go elsewhere with the ball. And honestly, Dwayne Bowe did finish with 3 catches for 40 yards, but 2 of those catches were on Bradley Roby. I think Talib honestly only held him to like 1 catch for 19 yards or something. So a great job by Aqib Talib of taking out the Chiefs' top receiving threat in Dwayne Bowe and containing him again. And our receiving core was phenomenal. Again, played well in week 1, carried over to week 2. Julius Thomas, dominant once again, 4 catches, 39 yards and a touchdown. Did a great job on the touchdown catch. Good catch by him. Even better throw by Peyton Manning. There was a moment there where Peyton Manning kind of ripped into him. Looked like there was kind of some miscommunication throughout this game with Julius Thomas and Peyton Manning. Hopefully they'll clear that up going into week 3 here against Seattle. They're going to need to. Demaryius Thomas kind of woke up from his kind of average outing last week against the Colts. He had 5 catches for 62 yards and a touchdown. He actually had a big screen play. I think it was there in that first or second quarter, which he took like 70, 80 yards for a touchdown, but they called back because Chris Clark was an ineligible man downfield, so that sucked. But Demaryius Thomas played really well again. Great touchdown catch there in the first half. Even better throw by Peyton Manning once again, and made some plays in the screen game. Made some plays in the open field. Had a beautiful catch there in the second half where he kind of just put his hands up. Didn't even see the throw coming. Just beautiful timing by him to put his hands up at the last second. Made a beautiful grab there. And Emmanuel Sanders once again being extremely effective for the Broncos. Finishes with 8 catches for 108 yards. Probably the quietest 8-catch, 108-yard game I have ever seen. But he played well. Once again, just has an uncanny ability to get open. And him and Peyton Manning are really developing a chemistry and rapport right now that you got to love seeing as a Broncos fan. Now talking about some of the bad things we did here in this game. Again, this was a pretty subpar performance, pretty crappy performance by the Broncos here against the Chiefs. We were very fortunate to win this game, and we did a lot of things poorly here in this game on both sides of the ball here against the Chiefs. The Chiefs, like I said, did a great job of really controlling the tempo in this game and just controlling the game in general. If you look at the time of possession, the Chiefs had the ball in this game for 36 minutes and 14 seconds. The Broncos only had it for 23 minutes and 46 seconds. The Chiefs had 75 plays. We only had 46 plays. Again, they did a great job of sustaining drives and keeping Peyton Manning off the field, establishing the run game, and just controlling the pace of the game. And it's really why they were able to keep this game close, stay in it, and really just kind of they kind of imposed their will on us here in this game. And that's just a graphic and a stat you hate hearing as a Broncos fan, seeing the Chiefs have 75 plays to the Broncos only having 46. That should never happen when Peyton Manning is your quarterback. We lost on third down, which was obviously big here in this game. The Chiefs were unbelievable, 11 of 16 on their third down conversions. Our defense could just not get off the field. We had some really stupid penalties there in the third quarter. And then offensively, you go 3 of 8 on third down. We did a horrible job of sustaining drives offensively and kind of giving our defense a breather. We never did that offensively. We couldn't sustain drives. We didn't win on third down. And that's something that is a must improve going in this week against Seattle and playing that defense. Kansas City had 28 first downs in this game. Again, could not get off the field defensively. You got to win on third down. You can't make stupid penalties like we did in that third quarter, and you just got to be smarter defensively, and you got to get to the quarterback more consistently. We did have a solid pass rush in this game, but we did a poor job of kind of collapsing the pocket on Alex Smith and then not sacking him, letting him break a sack or break out into the open and make some plays on the run. And again, Kansas City had 4 first downs from penalties. Defensively, you got to be smarter. You gave up a first down on a 3rd and 18 and a 3rd and 11 from penalties. That's got to improve. Had 11 penalties total for 71 yards. A lot of those came on defense, illegal contact penalties, things of that nature, pass interference penalties, offsides penalties. I mean, we got called for offsides, it seemed like 3 or 4 times in this game. You got to be smarter as a defense. You got to be more disciplined, and that's got to improve, man. It's just sloppy plays. Shows a lack of focus, shows a lack of discipline. Got to improve defensively. Once again, kind of sputtered out there in the second half, showed a lack of killer instinct for the second week in a row. We were outscored 7-3 in the second half by the Kansas City Chiefs. He only put up 3 points as an offense. That is just pathetic, especially when Peyton Manning's your quarterback with the personnel we have. I said it last week. I'll say it again this week. You should never only score 3 points in the second half when Peyton Manning's your quarterback with this personnel. Just an abysmal second half, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And Kansas City, once again, did a great job of controlling the tempo of this game and controlling the ball, keeping the ball, sustaining drives there in the second half. They had a 19 and 14 play drives there in the second half. Did a great job of really kind of wearing our defense out. And again, our offense just sputtered out in the second half. You look at our second half offensive drives, we had a punt, then a field goal, and then we had the ball to end the game. I mean, that's just terrible. You only have 3 drives in the second half as an offense. You gotta find a way to sustain drives more and keep the ball more, keep your defense out the field, give them a breather. Got to play well. And even in the first half, we just didn't play with any consistency. Score a touchdown to start the game off, and then you have 2 straight 3-and-outs. That's a lack of consistency. Got to play better on the offensive end, and got to give our defense a breather, man. You can't just expect them to stay on the field that long and expect to win. You got fortunate here, but man, our offensive execution once again was terrible in the second half here against the Kansas City Chiefs. We allowed 380 total yards of offense to the Kansas City Chiefs offense. I mean, that is just pathetic. Last week, I think we gave up 400-plus total yards of offense to the Colts. You just got to play better as a defense. Again, they're on the field a lot. I get it, but they do got to play better. Kansas City had 6 wide receivers in this game with at least 3 catches. I mean, that's just poor coverage. You got to cover better as a secondary. You got to communicate better as a secondary. T.J. Ward has got to be better in coverage, and so does Chris Harris. Chris Harris had a couple penalties in this game, gave up a couple passes. Bradley Roby there at the end of the game was a little sloppy against Dwayne Bowe, but you can't allow 6 receivers to get 3-plus catches. That's just pathetic. Alex Smith, you made him look like a world beater. He went 26 of 42 for 255 yards, did a really poor job of containing him outside the pocket, allowed him to get outside the pocket, keep plays alive. You got to stop the run, man. Our run defense was horrible in this game. We allowed 133 rushing yards here to Kansas City. They did a great job. Their offensive line really beat up our defensive line. Our defensive ends got beat up in this game. DeMarcus Ware, Von Miller, Derek Wolfe, Malik Jackson, all of them got beat up in the run game, did a poor job of sealing the edge. And then our interior defensive line played poorly, Our defensive tackles were terrible. Terrence Knighton, I thought when he was in there, he did a good job of eating up space and closing up gaps, but when he was out of the game and he was, taking a breather, and we brought in Marvin Austin or Sylvester Williams, they just got beat up inside by Rodney Hudson. I mean, the center for the Kansas City Chiefs. He just physically manhandled our second and third defensive tackles, and you got to find an answer for that. You got to find someone that is going to help you stop the run, especially interiorly, besides Terrence Knighton. There's Miles Davis played really well for Kansas City here against us in this game. When Jamal Charles went out with an ankle sprain, he finished with 79 yards, 2 touchdowns, and averaged 3.6 yards per carry. Did a great job of giving Kansas City a physical presence, and did a great job of running in between the tackles, breaking some tackles, shedding some tackles. Then did a great job of getting to the edge and making some plays and some good runs on the outside. Again, we did a really poor job defensively of sealing the edge here in the running game. And as I mentioned earlier, we did a good job of collapsing the pocket on Alex Smith, but did a horrible job of containing him when he got outside the pocket. He finished with 42 rushing yards in this game, averaged 8.4 yards per carry. Kansas City as a team averaged 4 yards per carry against us defensively. You just got to play better, and again, it starts at the defensive tackle position. It starts with the defensive ends sealing the edge better. Did a poor job of defending the tight ends. Kansas City's tight ends, Anthony Fasano and Travis Kelce, they combined for 7 catches in this game for 120 yards. They made some really big catches there. In the second half, Anthony Fasano had that circus catch in the fourth quarter to keep a drive alive for Kansas City, and Travis Kelce just kept getting wide open. I mean, our safety's got to play better. That's T.J. Ward, that's Raheem Moore, and that comes down to our linebackers. Brandon Marshall, he's got to be way better in coverage. Nate Irving, I mean, they got to be more aware in coverage. That's where you really missed Daniel Trevathan, and you saw that here in this game. If you play this way against Seattle, you're probably going to lose by quite a bit of points, and you're going to get embarrassed again, just like you were embarrassed in Super Bowl 48. And they're going to be hungry, man. They just lost to San Diego in a game that they probably feel they should have won. They're going to be at home. The crowd's going to be rocking. It's a big game. It has kind of that big game feel, big game environment. This is going to be a very, very good test and interesting test for the Broncos. They better play a lot better in this game against Seattle in Week 3 than they did here against the Chiefs or against the Colts if they want to beat the Seahawks. We definitely got to execute better on both ends of the ball, and you definitely got to be more consistent for 4 quarters and got to show a little bit more of a killer instinct. So that's my recap, guys. Good win for the Broncos as they beat the Chiefs 24-17. We're now 2-0. Leave me a comment below with what you thought of this game. What did you think of the Broncos' performance? What did you think they did well? What did you think they did bad if you're a Chiefs fan? What did you thought your team did well? What did you think your team did bad? And any other comments you got on week 1 of the NFL season, week 2 of the NFL season, I would love to hear. So once again, I appreciate the support. Thank you for watching. And as always, guys, go Broncos 2-0. Hopefully we can keep this going in week 3 against the Seahawks. It's going to be definitely a scary test come Sunday.